To put the smash down and again here in Miller once again. There's Diaz with that win in Parnu just a few weeks ago. We are underway in the women's final. Live from Saarlouis. And keep an eye out to see if players will be putting the ball up high to try to play the sun. I've seen her resurgence over the last few years, her dedication to conditioning, and just she was a good player before. She's an even better player now, and for somebody on top of the beach tennis world at the age of 31. Diaz taking it up high over to Cimatti. Cimatti able to put the smash down and shot Cimatti. Just recently, well, I guess in the last few, they've split apart. Giulia Gaparri has been playing with Nini Valentini, also from Italy, but Nini super tiebreak. That was the tightest match we had all day long yesterday on center court. Serve up, forehand side return there by Cimatti, locking in is Gaparri, but Diaz serves it up. Crossing over is Miller, and as it serves up for him, return there by Gaparri. Gaparri getting challenged. Oh, and been able to get that one down. It's just again trying to ease their way into the match. Back underway here on center court. Sofia Cimatti, Giulia Gaparri, a reunion of the much successful Italian team. The battle is going to be so close between these two teams. They match up so perfectly together, and they both have been playing just fantastic beach tennis. Miller wasting no time getting things going. Again here in the fifth game of this first. Serve is up, forehand side return there by Gaparri. Chopping over on the angle is Cimatti. Cimatti getting pushed back to the base. Something that she will be looking to do, especially over to Cimatti. Serve is up, forehand return dug out there by Cimatti. There's Gaparri popping it in. Keep the ball back in play, sending it high. Miller is there. Oh, and what a win! Serve is up. Backhand dig out by Gaparri. Gaparri going in for the put away. Players at the top level, they, if it works, they stick with it for a while, but then eventually things need to be changed up, and we're going to see that as well. That one immediately following this match. But right now, back to women's action as we've got Rafa Miller smashing it home at 15:40 now. Miller on the backhand side dish. Saved back by Gaparri. Crossing over. Out of position is Cimatti, but they match prediction. Diaz charging in. Diaz now taking it up high, challenging Cimatti. Cimatti's there, just gets it back in play. Down the center. Cimatti, now players crossing over. Gaparri on the other side, but Cimatti's lob attempt is not something that is typical. About 85 degrees here in Saarlouis today. You happen to just stumble upon the broadcast here. Sofia Cimatti serves it up. Dig out there by Diaz. Diaz taking it to the center. Up high on the lob goes Gaparri. Answered back by Miller. Cimatti serves it up. Dug out backhand side return by Diaz. Diaz locks in on a overhead, but that's serve up. Nice exchange here. Players cross over from the middle. Out of the sand goes Miller. Miller now stretching down the sand once again. Saves back a third time. Look at this now. Diaz down in the sand. They cannot stay on their feet. Nice aggressive put down. We're going to see the best from both of these teams here in this championship as Cimatti locking in on the put away attempt. There's Diaz chop. Finals last year with partner Nini Valentini. The partner she's playing with today, Sofia Cimatti, actually won the tournament. Backhand side dish by return by Diaz. Miller getting in on the action, sending it up high. Cimatti locking in, keeping the ball back in play. There's Diaz stretching again, feeding it up high into the sun. But Gaparri going back to the corner. Miller's there though. That's a nice serve in. Backhand side return by Diaz. Diaz letting that one go. Venezuelan serves it up. Yes, and a beautiful serve up. Down the middle, there's Rafa again. Cimatti on the serve. Once again, yes, down the middle, and there's popping it up. Gaspari's in position. Partner for the last few years. Out with a shoulder injury. recovery picked up right where they left off. They've been playing fantastic beach tennis. They won the previous Sandseries event in Parnu, Estonia. As the serve is up, backhand side return there. Crossing over is Gaparri and Diaz. Forehand return back by Diaz. Crossing over. Now sending it up high, trying to stretch Diaz back to the baseline. Serve is up, backhand side return by Cimatti. Taking it up over to Diaz. Diaz answers back, but into the second point of this tiebreak here in the first set. Oh, and that's a beautiful angle. Out of the air. What looked like prematurely, but she was able to pull it off. Disguise that well. Then go back as Diaz. Now I'm going to take it up high. Gaparri's there, locking in on it. And Miller serves up on the backhand side return there by Gaparri. Gaparri taking it up high. And Diaz has one more serve before players will change for. Let's see if they can get a late run. But at the moment, the number 2 seeds, Gaparri and Cimatti, in the driver's seat here in the tiebreak. Nice point. As we've got Diaz was in position. Give if she wanted to, but this time she keeps it back in play. Challenging Miller once again. There's Diaz with a feisty put away. Serve is up and over to Gaparri. Gaparri challenging Diaz. Diaz sends it high, and that is the first set. Match coming up, but right now we are back underway with our women's championship match. Second set is underway as serve up with a forehand return by Diaz. Down the line, Diaz goes down in the sand, but she's back up. Oh, and what a lob. Oh. Serve up, return back in. 1-2 punch there by Gaparri in what was a very tight and close set number 1. Getting stretched back is Gaparri, but she's able to keep the ball back in play. Oh, Patricia Diaz from the city center in Saarlouis. Serve is up at the backhand side return there by Cimatti. Cimatti going over, trying to serve up, forehand return there by Cimatti. Cimatti now sending it high up. Rafa Miller's there. Saved back in by Gaparri. Gaparri, a little backhand flip chicken wing, keeps it in play, but Diaz is there to up high into the sky, and that one serve up, forehand return by Gaparri. Gaparri crossing over is Miller. There's Diaz digging it out. Diaz once again on the defensive play, and just too much pressure from Julia. Diaz serves it up. And Gaparri, let's see what happens as the serve is up. Gaparri charging in. There's Cimatti going back to Miller down the middle. Little touch dropper by Gaparri. Serve up down the middle, answer back by Miller. There's Diaz getting in on the action. Miller from the other side. Yeah, 2-point lead in this game. It'd be a big break here if they could pull it off. But serve up at the backhand side return by Diaz. Diaz now from the off the angle. Gaparri. Oh, she had Gaparri serving on the forehand chop there by Diaz. Diaz getting pushed back to the baseline, sends it high to get back into position, and now Cimatti from the center. Fourth game of this second set as we've got Miller popping it up high. Oh, Sophia Cimatti. Diaz locking in, and Diaz just had serve up. Forehand return there by Gaparri. Now chopping over to Cimatti. Cimatti serves up. Forehand return there by Gaparri. By Cimatti rather. Cimatti taking it up high over to Diaz. Diaz now, and wisely lets that one go. So from love 40 now, serve is up. Backhand side return there. Diaz to the middle. Miller. Diaz down in the sand on the return, but back up on her feet. There's Miller trying to go to that back corner again. Saved back by Cimatti. Cimatti now over to Diaz from the middle. Now challenging Diaz up high. Diaz is able to get to it. There's Gaparri now. A defensive lob back. Diaz is there. They're just kind of trading lobs at the moment. Now coming in for the put away. And so goes to the same space once again over to Cimatti's forehand. And so Diaz goes back to her favorite spot to Cimatti's forehand. Down in the sand goes Miller, and that was just a serve is up at the backhand side return by Cimatti. There's Gaparri. Oh, and that's a friendly bounce off. Serve up at the forehand side return there by Cimatti. There's Gaparri locking in. Diaz able to keep the ball back in play. There's Miller for the easy put away. Serves up backhand side return there by Miller. Now Miller taking it up high to the base. Serve up now from the center. Diaz down in the sand. Can she get back up? She does. She's able to keep the ball back in play. Back on her feet once again. Patty Diaz. Oh my goodness. Look at in the second set, if somehow Diaz and Miller can find a way to win this point. Getting pushed back is Diaz from the center. Now getting down, and that's just a brilliant play by Gaparri. And serve is up for Cimatti on the forehand return. Now Rafa up high. Nice angle, sends Gaparri down to her knees, but she's able to get back up. And then just 3 points away now. Can Gaparri and Cimatti pull this one off? There's Cimatti in the windmill. Saved back by Miller. And Miller chip point right here. Cimatti on the backhand side dish over to Diaz. Diaz taking it up high. And it's out. And it's all over. Giulia Gaparri. Sofia Cimatti make it 2 for 2 in the Sandseries this season. They are your